Okay, we are back for another LeetCode Daily Challenge. So today, May the 4th, be with you. We have a median question, which is non-decreasing array. So I check. This question is number 665, and it's a median question. And the question is pretty short. But short doesn't mean that it's easy and we can resolve it easily. So let's try to see how fast we can solve this median question. So first, let's read the question description first. Non-decreasing array. So given an array nums with n integers, your task is to check if it could become non-decreasing. Oh, my cat is moving my camera. Okay, let me move my cat. Okay. My cat is staring at me. Sorry. Let's keep doing this question. So your task is to check if it could become non-decreasing array by modifying at most one element. So at most means that either we do it once or not, right? So we define an array is non-decreasing if nums I is less or equal than nums I plus 1 holds for every I zero based, such as 0 between I between 0 and n minus 2. So we have two examples. Both examples only have 3 elements. Okay, so nums 4, 2, 3, and the answer is true. So you either remove the 4 or remove the, you can just you can remove the 4 or modify. Well, modify means remove, I think, because it doesn't say that after you modify it, it should be between, the number should be between 0 and whatever, right? It doesn't say that the number should be positive, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, the constraint here shows that the number could be negative. So I don't know if the edge case will be there is one number which is this, and then if that's the case, then you can't do it unless this one is the first one. Yeah. So I don't know if they will give us a edge case like this. But I guess that's not the thing that they want to check. They want to check if you can only find one consecutive element which is decreasing. So if you find one decreasing, it's okay. You can either change first one or change second one. But for the second example, your first one or your zero index one, and the first one is decreasing, and this pair is decreasing again. So I guess this question is just want you to check if there is no more than one decreasing consecutive elements. So yeah, let's try it. But the example they give is only contain only 3 elements, but I think we probably need an example of 4 elements, right? So for example, if I have 1, 4, 7, 9, and this is strictly increasing, so this one is okay. But if we have a drop in the middle, then this is okay too, because we can modify this or this to make it strictly increasing or non-decreasing. Yeah. But what if, for example, for this example, so what if we have for these two are increasing, or maybe these two are increasing, but these two are increasing. So although we only have one drop, but because of the one prior to this is larger than the one after this pair, so it's not a valid one. So I guess we should not only check the 2 or the 3, we should also check one prior to the pair and one after the pair. Okay, so let's try it. So we will start from 0 and until we have this is nums, the length -1 I plus plus, and we also want to count Boolean found equals to equals to false. Okay, so we start from the 0 one and we start checking one by one. So if like we need it to be non-decreasing, so if it's decreasing, like nums I plus 1 is larger than nums I, then first we make this found, or we should say if found, then return false, because found means that we already found it once. And then, so if we already found it once and we found another pair, then we immediately return false. Otherwise, we set this to true and then we start comparing. We need to know which one we are going to remove. Right? So there are several different kind of situation. So for this one, you can either remove one of them, which is okay. For this one, this is not okay. And this one is either should be okay. And what kind of situation that we have? So supposedly we have a 1, 4, 8, and then we have one drop. Then this one is remove 2, right? And then suppose we have 1, 4, 8, and then we have something that is 9 in here, then no, 9, 4, then we remove 9. So we have those kind of situations. So we have a drop, and then Okay, I I believe there will be a more elegant way. Maybe we don't have four situations, but for now this is the only idea that I have. So let me deal with the easiest one first. So like when we have this, and if so, let's deal with this situation. So if I minus 1 is larger than 0 and nums I minus 1 is larger than, could that be equal? We need it to be non-decreasing. So equal should be fine. Nums I plus 1. No, this is I plus 1, so I plus 2. So do we need to check I plus 2? I plus 2 is smaller than nums dot then this return false. Okay. And then if this, we can remove the 1. So in this situation we check if I plus 1 is larger than I plus I minus 1. Yep. Okay. So for this, so for this we check if I plus 1 is larger than 0 and nums I plus 1 is larger than non-decreasing, larger or equal than nums I minus 1. So this one return true. Or this one we should return true too. So what kind of this? So this is the same. Hold on. So we don't have this many kind of a situation, right? So all we need to check is, yeah, those two are the same. As long as we can make sure that the dropped one is larger than this, and then we can start checking the next one, right? So whether I is larger than I plus 2 doesn't matter at all. Really? Can I find an example that is not? Oh, I guess what I want to see is I remove 2 is something like more like this, right? So we have 3, 4, 2, 8. Yeah, so although this one, oh, I'm confusing myself. So although, so this one is, Okay, so this is actually this. This is actually this, right? Because the third one is larger than the first one. And then for this kind of situation is that this one, the second one is larger than the first one. But did we already check? We already checked, right? So because this is the first decreasing that we found, so of course 3 and 4 we already check, right? So this situation we need to check if I plus 2 is larger than I. So if I plus 2, and where is my and? I plus 2 is larger or equal than I. And this is the kind of situation for this one. And the other situation for this one actually fulfilled this. The third one is larger than first one. Also, it fulfilled this. The last one larger than current one. So this one will work for both cases. So if this is the case, then we continue, right? Otherwise, we return false. Wow. Then I'm making the logic look so ugly because those two situations we can continue checking. So if not in these two situations, I want to break and return false. So what I want is actually not. So I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like this, but this is how the reason. My reasoning works. So I return false. This is not a clean code. Otherwise, we can increment I and keep checking this pair. Yeah. And if this pair drop again, we return false. So if you can successfully run the entire for loop, then we are going to return true. And if the drop happens when in the either side of the array, it's definitely true because we can remove the either the leftmost or the rightmost. Okay, that's probably it, right? So for this example, if we manually run it, this is the first drop, and then we set this to true, and then this will not fulfill this because I minus 1 is not larger than 0. This will not have this. This will run in this situation where we checked the I plus 2 is larger than I. And then it will return true. Oh, hold on. Even the first case won't work. Okay. So the first case is that I minus 1 is 0. So yeah. So these two cases is this. Or this. Or this. Okay, it looks like my logic is not that good. So after adding this, 4, 2, 3 will work. And how about this? This is, we check this, and then it won't go through here. And this, so this won't return when we first found this. But then, so we will increment I to here. And then we found a decrease again, so we found another one and we return false. So this should work, although it looks like ugly. No, this one won't work. So why? So why this one failed and returned false? Let's do it again. So I equals to 0. And then we have the first one, this, oh, hold on, non-decreasing. Oh really? I should write this in 4 lines? So there's not that much of a condition that I need to check. So maybe I think too much. Yeah, maybe I think too much. But how do you decide which one to remove though? Like, how do you check this situation? So if this is the only situation that I need to check, otherwise all of them should return true. Is that what you mean? So for example, only this one is not okay, and this one happens when this is smaller 6 is smaller than 5. And all the other situation, if this is not happening, we can all return okay. Is that what you mean? So you mean that we don't need this. We don't need this. And we only check this situation. So would that work for this one? 4, 2, 3. So I have this, the other side. So this is decreasing. Yeah, I want non-decreasing. So this one, I had it wrong. And yeah, that's it, right? And then if we found the decreasing and then the prior one is smaller than the next one, then we return false. And in all the other condition, it should be okay. Is that the case? Let's try it. Yeah. 4, 2, 1. And how about this? And how about, let me check all the cases that I listen here. So 6, 7, 4, 5. 6, 7, 4, 5. 3, 4, 2, 8. So maybe I think too much because I thought that there should be a lot of different conditions, but it turns out that there's not a lot of different conditions. Oh, I got this wrong. What is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got this wrong. So this is, I thought I checked this. I thought I checked this. I should return false. Why I return true? God. So when I find the first drop, which is I equals to 1, right? So, and I minus 1 is larger or equal than 0. Oh God. Or this. Okay. Now it should work. Yeah. Okay. So I always have those kind of small little mistake that I just did. This should be larger than. Okay. So thank you, Safine. Let's try to submit this. See if it works. Nope. Wrong answer. Oh, we got an equal. I didn't test the equal one. God. So this one is false, but I return true. So what is the case? We find the drop, but we find a drop, and this we need to remove too. So we need to make sure that C is false for I in range. If C, return false, else true. So you only check 3 of them, I minus 2, I minus 1. So for I in the range, if you find 1, and if C is true, then return false, else C is true. And then if the prior one is larger than 0 and number, okay, let me copy your coding here so that other people know what I'm talking about. So you only compare 3 elements, but I'm comparing, I guess, 4 element. Yeah. So you have this is false, and then for this range, and then if C is true, then you return false, else C is true. And I think this is it, right? Check the prior value, not the forward one. Okay, so I don't need to check this one, is what you mean. So, so the one that I have problem is this. So when I find the first drop, you mean you check if the current one is larger than, so you are comparing, so you are checking if this is smaller than that. That makes sense because you already check I and I minus 1 could be equal, right? So in this case, your I is 2 and your I minus 1 is 4, your I minus 2 is 3, and because you already check these two, they could be equal. Oh, return true is outside of the loop. You mean this one is outside of the loop? Okay. So you actually try to modify it. Oh, I was just thinking that I don't need to modify it. Oh. Okay, so you are checking if this one is less than this one, then you put this one equals to this one. Oh. Okay. So you actually try to modify it. As long as you... Oh, okay. I sort of understand what you mean. So when this one is less, you try to increase that. Okay. Yeah, it can be solved without modifying, but modifying is easier because you keep incrementing I, And then if you don't modify this, then you need to then skip this and compare this to that, right? The reason why I need to combine 4, I need to check 4, is that I didn't modify this one. So if you modify this one, second if inside the else condition, okay. So you have second if inside the else condition. So you mean this is inside the else condition, like this? Yeah, third, right? Inside the if condition. Yeah. So I think, yeah, it's probably easier to modify the number. Yeah. Yeah, because the reason why I compare 4, like I said, I compare 4 is like in this situation, in your code, because you modify modify this to 4, right? So when you increment I, you can keep comparing 3 and 4. But for me, I need to check 4 number at once because I refuse to to modify the number. So if I don't modify this, when I increment I need to check 3 versus 4 because I can't check 2 because 2 is the one I need to modify, right? So that gave me trouble. So I think, yeah, your code is way easier because you actually try to modify it. Yeah. Whereas I need to combine 4 of them because I don't want to modify any of them. Yeah, so yours is probably correct. And you have the C is 4, so your C is working like my found. So yes, so let's not do this. And then, so you only check the prior one. So for me, I need to check if this is larger than 0. And you're saying that I don't need to do this. And then you need to check if the last number, which is I plus 1, is smaller than the prior number, right? You're checking this if it's smaller. Yeah. So mine is almost like yours, but I don't change the number. That's why it gave me so much trouble. So you want to actually modify, oh, not this one, right? So you want to actually modify the next one, right? And give it a number to the current one. Yeah. And then of course you don't need to return false in here. And do I have anything else? Yeah, let me remove this cleaner. And I'm not doing this. Yeah. So after this step, you need to only increment once. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so true, false, true, false, true, true, false. Okay. Then let's submit it. Yay! Okay, thank you. Fine. So let's check. Yeah, most people did it in the same time complexity. And for the space, I guess most people are the same, right? Because we don't actually declare any array or anything. But I am curious about if everybody try to modify the array. Yeah, you are right. So yeah, that's true. Modify the array actually make the solution simpler. Yeah. Thank you. I never thought of I should really actually modify the array. Yeah, because I keep thinking, that's why I keep 4 number at once, because I need to skip one. So I probably misunderstand this question. Simple, greedy like solution. Oh yeah. So I guess yours is mostly like this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, why I never thought of actually modifying it so that I don't need to compare the next one with the prior one. Yeah. Good idea. I learned something new today. Well, then thank you, Safine, and thank you for watching today. So I guess that's it for today. Although it's a medium question, it took me a good 14 minutes to solve it with extra help from Safine. So yeah, I will try my luck tomorrow again to see if I can resolve any problem without any other help. Okay, thank you for watching, and that's it for today's LeetCode Daily Question. I will see you tomorrow again. Thank you. Bye bye.